Today is a great day and I have a smile on my face because we are going to review Star Wars Squadrons in virtual reality. Yes! Is it worth a buy? Yes or no? But before we jump into any gameplay yet, I've been playing Star Wars Squadrons in VR on my HP Reverb with mouse and keyboard. I wanted to play it with my HOTAS, but there is some kind of dead zone bug, which is kinda annoying and spoils the fun, so I'm waiting on a patch, and whenever that gets fixed I will let you guys know in the comments. But with the mouse and the keyboard it works absolutely amazing. So before we jump into any gameplay, let's check out the settings, the virtual reality settings in Star Wars Squadrons. So let's go to the options, and there they are, VR settings. What can we adjust here? So we can toggle between VR, which is pretty nice because sometimes you want to adjust like the options in game or the graphic settings or whatever, and you don't want to do that on your virtual reality headset, which you can do fine, by the way. It works, I do it, but I can imagine that if you want to change a lot, like adjusting the controls for example, you just want to do that on a 2D screen. So you can just toggle between those traditional displays and the virtual reality headset. So we also have snap turn. You can turn it on and off. That controls the way you turn your body while being in the hangar or in the briefing room. And being in the hangar or in the briefing room, you are only there in between games. So you are there for a maximum period of 2 minutes maybe. And everything that you need to interact with happens in front of you. So you don't really have to turn your head like 360, 180. So I'm never used snap turn, but I can. For some people it might come in handy. Then you can adjust the snap turn angle if you want. And there is an FOV filter while turning, which, you know, if you get motion sickness really quickly, then you might want to turn this on. So I am now in VR. The VR headset is on my lap. And the reason why I do that is because if you go to the video settings, you have graphics quality for the 2D screen. And you have graphics quality for virtual reality. And it's on auto automatically. I am playing on a 1080 Ti, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a i9 9900K. And on auto, and it means that everything was on ultra. I changed it a little bit because there's still a little bit of an FPS bug around, I guess. So it's like fixed on 60 FPS and not 90 FPS. Whenever the patch comes out, I will let you guys know in the comments if that fixed the problem for me, for the FPS problem. But what you can change here is the effects quality for VR, the volumetric quality VR, post-process quality VR, mesh quality VR, anti-aliasing VR, and the ambient occlusion VR. And also for shadow quality, lighting quality, texture filtering. So there's a lot to change around, and that's actually pretty nice. The only thing that I'm missing, and again, I was expecting this from EA though, and from Motive, but is a spectator option. I like to create content on YouTube, and I like to live stream on Twitch, but, you know, Boneworks has it, Vertigo Remastered has it, a spectator option. So you guys can actually see it a little bit smoother with a wider FOV. Now it's all a little bit shaky when I'm streaming. And, you know, when you have a spectator option, you can smoothen it out. So it's, you know, the screen stays a little bit even, and you guys see a little bit more like what I am seeing when I turn on the virtual reality headset. Alright, so that was it for the video settings. Let's go in-game and see what that is all about. So we start with the single player, and what I want to say first is that EA told us, yes, it is fully playable in VR, and that is correct. And I've seen a lot of people complain on the forums that, yeah, but it's not really fully playable in VR because the cutscenes are just, it's like you're looking at a 2D screen. Yes, I mean, that's fine. It's like looking at a cinema. This is one of those cutscenes that are like in between missions, and they're nice, they're well done. And, you know, yes, you're not standing in the scene itself talking with those characters and listening to different characters. You would get crazy. Because the cutscenes are like switching all the time from scene to scene. Scene A, scene B, location A, location B. You will get crazy. I think this is a great way to show a cutscene in a game for virtual reality players. It's again like being in a cinema. So yes, again, it's fully playable in VR, but don't expect like a Half-Life Alyx game whenever there's like people coming towards you talking and you have to look around you 180. No, it's just looking at a screen. It's this seated experience. It works fine, and I like it. As you can see here, for example, and I actually enjoyed really watching the cutscenes, as not being a Star Wars fan, because I am not a Star Wars fan. I've never seen a Star Wars movie, I'm sorry, but I did enjoy the single player campaign. Yes, I did. I did enjoy it. I also think that playing the single player campaign is quite a must. This is not just an arcade game. This is quite a sim game, if I can say. For me, I get it, right? I don't know Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of it, but playing the campaign teaches you the game. There's quite a lot of things that you have to learn, and the single player campaign just talks you over it step by step, which is great. As you can see here, they are talking about missile evasion right now. You're getting into battle. They let you know, like, okay, you know, you have to use W for gaining throttle. You have to use S to lower your throttle. It teaches you a lot. It just teaches you a lot about all the different functionalities, and I think that's kind of great. Would I play the campaign again? I'm not sure. It was fun, and I think it's a great way if ever you get some guys over, girls over that want to try VR, and they don't want to try a standing experience. You know, put them in a chair, put the headset on, start up Star Wars Squadrons, and let them go for a fly. Although, I mean, you have to train your VR legs though, because you might get sick if you don't watch out. And yes, we can go in depth about the single player campaign, but we are here to put a focus on virtual reality. Yes, you can fly as the Empire. Yes, you can fly as the Empire, and yes, you can fly as the Rebels. It's one storyline, and it all comes together, and it's wonderful. And if you are a Star Wars fan, it's probably a must play. You have to decide that for yourself. I'm not going to spoil much. It's about 6-8 hours of gameplay, I would say. Yeah, between 6 and 8 hours of gameplay, single player missions. And you can earn medals, you can redo them, you can try to finish a mission faster, you get an extra medal, etc, etc. And again, the single player mission is just the best way to learn the game, as it teaches you all the different aspects of flying the TIE fighters or the whatever, the X-Wings, etc. But I bought this game for the multiplayer, because the multiplayer, fighting in VR against other players, gives such a kick when you just take them out of the sky. I'm getting excited. I just want to play right now again. Serious. I want to grab the headset, put it on my head, and just fly out there and take those noobs out. Anyway, there are two different gameplay modes. You can play dogfight. That's basically just a team deathmatch. 5 versus 5. Whoever wins, or whoever gets 30 kills, wins the game. And that's it. But the big selling point of this game is, of course, the fleet battle modes, where 2 teams of 5 not just engage in dogfights, but push and pull between defending their key capital ship while trying to blow up the enemy cruiser. It's super exciting, and it puts all of the game's depth and complexity on display in all of the right ways, and you cannot access it until you are level 5. So you first have to start in dogfight, be a total noob, and when you reach level 5, you're probably still a total noob, but you can start the fleet battle mode. So whenever you go into a game, like you can see here on the screen, first there is the briefing room, and I told you guys about it. This is just like, okay, you can set up your starfighter, you can set up your plane, your starfighter. Your starfighter, is it, right? And you can change like a lot of things. You can change the engines, you can change your laser, your guns, your countermeasures, etc. And here's also where you can speak tactics and can talk with other people, etc. The problem here is though that sometimes you have to wait a little bit long, like because one guy is not readying up and the countdown timer is set at 2 minutes, so you're here for most likely 2 minutes. And whenever the briefing is over, you get in the game, and that's where the fun starts. And do I love this game. The cockpits are very detailed in VR. It's lovely. I can see everything quite clear. And the fact is that you playing in virtual reality, being in your own cockpit, what gives me such a big high or a kick is locking on to the enemy, knowing that maybe they are wearing a virtual reality headset as well, being in their own cockpit, locking onto them, firing your missiles, and then just take them down. I have had a lot of moments where I was just like, yeah, and it's just so lovely. And again, you know, talking about it and seeing the gameplay right now on the screen makes me just want to play the game.
Incoming missile. I'm under attack. Enemy has a lock on me.
Oh, did you saw that, boys? Circle of deading, circle of deading.
Missile fired at me. Not ideal. The rebels have locked onto me.
This is why I'm playing this fucking game. Although, trust me, it's not a simple game. So don't expect it's an arcade shooter with third-person view. Thank God EA did not include a third-person mode. It's all being in the cockpit. And that's something that's quite new because this is actually the first time that I'm seeing like a game, sort of a flight sim. Can I say flight sim? I'm gonna call this a flight sim, yeah. Where, like, for the somewhat bigger audiences, they don't allow you to go third person mode. So it's quite, you know, it's quite, it might be quite new for some people. If you're used to Battlefield or Battlefront or I don't know what, where you just fly with your third person view, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not happening now. That's not happening. So, yeah. I think that's it what I wanted to say, to be honest. Is there anything else? Again, I'm flying here, you know, with my keyboard and mouse. It's not possible to fly with your sticks, with your virtual reality sticks. So it's either a HOTAS, a controller, or mouse and keyboard, and that's it. So that was it, my first ever Let's Talk VR. I am sorry, it's all unscripted, so I can fly from A to B. But you know what, I'm just here to learn, so we will see how it goes. So, is Star Wars Squadrons for VR worth a buy? Definitely. Definitely. I love the game. It's really great. I've played for 2 hours on a 2D screen. Did not like it at all. If it was not for VR, I wouldn't have played this game at all. I played 18 hours in VR, 2 hours on a 2D screen. No, only in VR I will play this game. So, what you can also do is follow me on Twitch, because there you can watch live playthroughs of me playing only in virtual reality. So, if you like this video as well, give it a subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and you know what I would like to know? What starfighter you like to fly in. Guys, see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Big kiss.